Pip's Grand Climb. Willowbrook Hollow was a place of beauty and tranquility, where nature and the community thrived in harmony. The air was filled with the sweet scent of wildflowers, and the gentle songs of birds could be heard from the treetops, creating a beautiful melody that made the village feel alive. The village was nestled amidst lush meadows, gentle brooks, and towering trees, but there was one tree that stood above them all, the Grand Willow. Majestic and wise, the Grand Willow was the tallest tree in Willowbrook Hollow, with branches that swayed gracefully in the breeze, creating a soothing rustle that echoed across the village. It was a place of wonder and inspiration for all who lived there. Pip Quickscurry, an adventurous young squirrel, often found himself gazing up at the Grand Willow, imagining what it would be like to climb to its very top. Though Pip loved adventures, the sheer height of the tree had always made him a little nervous. He dreamed of reaching the highest branches, but each time he considered it, a flutter of worry held him back. Today, however, would be different. Pip was spending the morning with his friend, Lily Cottontail, in Sunflower Meadow. Lily, with her brushes and paints, was working on her latest masterpiece, a colorful scene of the meadow in full bloom. As they chatted, Lily shared an idea that made Pip's ears perk up. "You know, Pip," she said, dipping her brush into a pot of green paint, "I've been thinking about making a special painting for my mother's. I want it to be a view from the very top of the Grand Willow. Imagine how beautiful it must be up there, looking out over all of Willowbrook Hollow." Pip's heart skipped a beat. This was the perfect reason to make the climb he'd always dreamed of. He wanted to help his friend and finally conquer his own fears. "I'll do it, Lily," he said with a determined smile. "I'll climb the Grand Willow and help you paint from the top. But I might need a little help to make it happen." Determined to succeed, Pip made his way to the Whispering Pages library, where he knew he'd find his older brother, Scruff Quickscurry. Scruff was organizing books when Pip approached, his eyes filled with excitement and a hint of nerves. "Scruff," Pip began, "I want to climb the Grand Willow. Lily needs a view from the top for her painting, and I think I can do it with your help." Scruff paused, looking thoughtfully at his younger brother. He knew how much Pip had always wanted to climb the Grand Willow, but also understood the fear that held him back. After a moment, Scruff smiled warmly. "All right, Pip, I'll help you. But we'll do it safely. I still have my old climbing gear from my adventuring days. It'll make the climb much easier." Scruff led Pip to their family burrow, where he dusted off his old climbing gear, harnesses, ropes, and hooks from his adventurous youth. He kept the gear not just because it was useful, but also because it reminded him of special adventures from his past, things he didn't talk about often. Pip's eyes widened as he watched Scruff demonstrate how the gear worked. The ropes and harnesses gave Pip a sense of security, and Scruff's calm demeanor reassured him. Together, they began the plan to climb to the top of the Grand Willow. The next morning, Pip, Scruff, and Lily made their way to the base of the Grand Willow. The tree loomed above them, its branches stretching towards the sky, and Pip felt a flutter of nerves. But with Scruff by his side, he was ready. Scruff helped Pip into his harness, carefully securing the straps and showing him how to clip into the rope. "Take it one branch at a time, Pip," Scruff said gently. "I'll be right here with you." Pip took a deep breath, nodded, and followed Scruff as they began to climb. Scruff moved steadily, guiding Pip and offering advice. "Test each branch before you put your weight on it," Scruff reminded him. Pip followed his brother's lead, feeling the initial nervousness slowly fade as he focused on the task at hand. He could feel the rough texture of the bark under his paws and hear the gentle rustle of leaves around him. It made him feel more connected to the tree with each step. Below them, Lily cheered, her voice ringing up through the branches. "You two are doing great. I can't wait to see the view from the top." Her encouragement made Pip smile, and he felt a surge of determination. About halfway up the tree, Pip came across a particularly high and tricky branch. It was just out of reach, and for a moment, Pip hesitated. The height suddenly seemed overwhelming, and his confidence wavered. "Scruff, I don't know if I can do this," Pip admitted, his voice trembling slightly. Scruff climbed up beside him, his eyes calm and reassuring. "You can do it, Pip. Here, use the rope to help you." Scruff showed Pip how to loop the rope over a higher branch and use it to pull himself up. "I'll be right here. Just take it slow." Pip took a deep breath, gripping the rope tightly. He trusted his brother, and with Scruff's guidance, he slowly maneuvered himself around the obstacle. His heart pounded, but as he reached the branch and pulled himself up, a wave of pride washed over him. He had done it. As they continued to climb, Pip's confidence grew. He began to enjoy the climb, glancing out at the village below and marveling at how small everything looked from up high. The higher they climbed, the more beautiful the view became. Pip found himself smiling with excitement. Finally, after what felt like both an eternity and just a moment, Pip and Scruff reached the top of the Grand Willow. The view was breathtaking. The entire village of Willowbrook Hollow spread out below them, the meadows and brooks glistening in the sunlight, and the forest stretching out to the horizon. Pip felt a deep sense of accomplishment, his earlier fears now a distant memory. "We made it, Scruff," he exclaimed, his eyes shining with joy. Scruff smiled, ruffling Pip's fur. "I'm proud of you, Pip. You were brave." Pip looked around and spotted the perfect branch for Lily's painting, one with cascading leaves that framed the view perfectly. He called down to Lily, who was waiting eagerly below. "Lily, we're ready for you." Scruff attached a sturdy rope to the top of the tree, double-checking the nuts to ensure they were secure, and threw the end down to the ground where Lily waited. Lily tied the rope to a large basket, making sure it was tightly fastened. Once everything was ready, she gave a thumbs up. Slowly and carefully, Scruff and Pip pulled the basket up, keeping their movement steady. They called out to each other to stay in sync, making sure the basket stayed balanced. When the basket reached the top, Scruff and Pip helped Lily out and attached a harness to her, just like theirs, to make sure she was safe. Together, they guided her onto a sturdy branch so she could enjoy the view from the top of the Grand Willow. With Lily safely at the top, she set her painting supplies on a sturdy branch. The three friends marveled at the view, taking in the gentle sway of the branches and the soft rustle of leaves. Lily's brush moved across the canvas, capturing the beauty of Willowbrook Hollow from above. Pip and Scruff sat nearby, sharing a quiet moment of bonding. Pip looked at his brother, grateful for his support. "Thank you for helping me, Scruff. I couldn't have done it without you." Scruff smiled. "That's what big brothers are for, Pip. I'm just glad we could do this together." Once Lily had finished her sketch, they prepared for descent. Scruff led the way, helping Lily back into the basket, while Pip held the rope steady. Carefully, they lowered Lily to the ground, before climbing down themselves, branch by branch, until they finally reached the base of the Grand Willow. As they returned to the ground, a few curious villagers who had been watching their climb came over to greet them. There were cheers and smiles, and Pip felt a rush of pride. He had faced his fears and succeeded, not just for himself, but for his friends as well. Lily beamed at Pip. "Thank you, Pip. I couldn't have done this without you. That view was more beautiful than I ever imagined." Scruff gave Pip a warm smile. "You were brave today, Pip. I'm proud of you." Pip's heart swelled with happiness. He had done something he had once thought impossible. He had done it with the help of those he cared for most. Later that evening, as the sun began to set, Pip, Scruff, and Lily sat together under the Grand Willow, enjoying the evening breeze. Pip reflected on the day's adventure, realizing how much he had grown. He thought about the moment when he faced the high, tricky branch and almost turned back, and how, with Scruff's help, he was able to push past his fear and keep climbing. That memory filled him with pride, knowing he could overcome challenges with the support of those he loved. He knew now that even the tallest challenges could be conquered with the support of loved ones, and that made him feel stronger and braver than ever. Pip looked up at the branches they had climbed, feeling a sense of peace and pride. He realized that with the support of his brother and friends, he could accomplish anything. The fear that had once held him back was now replaced with the memory of their adventure, a reminder that courage grows stronger when shared with those who care for you. As the stars began to twinkle above, Pip smiled, feeling closer than ever to Scruff and Lily. The Grand Willow swayed gently above them, its branches whispering softly in the night. And Pip knew that this day would be one he would always remember. The moral of the story? Facing fears is much easier with the support of loved ones. And courage grows stronger when shared with those who care for us. Good night.